Hey y'all, Merry Thrift-Mas. So in today's video, I am going to attempt to make stockings for all of the kids. Y'all, I got this material at the thrift store and it was a huge Valance. It had the perfect pattern on it that I wanted to make some primitive stockings. Now, I don't know how I'm going to do this because I've never made stockings before, but I know that primitive stockings, they look a lot different than like what you get in the store. They're not as fat and they're kind of skinny, so I'm not really sure how this is gonna go. So I'm gonna go gather up my things, get us situated at the table in the back of the house, and then we are gonna attempt to make some primitive looking stockings for all the babies today. All right, I want to show you guys the supplies that I'm gonna use to make these primitive stockings for the babies. It's very simple. I started to do where I sewed these with my sewing machine because I do know how to sew, but then I thought there's a lot of people out there that do not know how to sew. So I wanted to make this as simple as I could, and so that if you wanted to make these and you did not know how to sew, there is an alternative. You can do it this way. So I just have a couple pieces of big construction paper, and I'm hoping that I can just freehand draw a primitive stocking pattern on there. And then I have some old fabric that I want to use just to make sure that the pattern I make looks good, you know, when I kind of put the stocking together. I don't know if I'll fully assemble it and all, but I want to just make sure that whatever my pattern looks like, it looks good, you know, on the fabric as well before I start using the actual fabric that I want to make the stockings out of. I don't want to waste, you know, that. And then I just have glue sticks. Y'all, you can make this with just a simple glue sticks. I just have some of the Gorilla hot glue sticks. I got these at Hobby Lobby. They are so good. I promise you, I have used glue sticks on fabric before and that stuff holds. I'm using 2 hot glue guns because I'll plug them both in. I have a little cord running up there so that I can have 2 hot guns hot and ready, so I'm not having to stop and swap out because my glue guns are very small. And then I have laid out down here the big Valance that I got thrifting. Let me move my chair. I had it so I could film. I just have it laid out here in the middle of the floor. So what I'm going to do is when I get the pattern how I want it, I'm just going to come over here, lay it down, trace it with a marker or pencil or something, and then just start cutting out the stocking. So that's simple, y'all. I love this thrifted Valance. Or Valance, however you say it. Look at my cat. She's always in my business. Anyway, so this does have a beautiful back, so I won't have to worry about adding any other fabric to the back. I'll just need to hot glue it, make a little strip. But anyway, I'll show y'all the process as I go through it. But that's the supplies that I have. Basically, if you didn't want to use construction paper or old material, you know, as a pattern, then you don't have to. Like if you have a lot of confidence in yourself, I don't. I'm afraid I'll mess this up and then I won't have enough. So I just want to kind of play around with that old fabric and make sure I'm getting it right first. And then I'll move on to this because like I said, this is thrifted. And this is all I have. So it's not like I could go back to Hobby Lobby and get more material if I mess it up and don't have enough. So it's just a little tip for you is pull out some old material before you get busy in your project if you don't know if you'll have enough or if it's thrifted or something like that. She's feeling very lovey this morning. Piper, kiki. What are you doing, silly? I know. Okay, so after many attempts, this is, well, I mean, not many, several. I don't want to overthink it because I think if I try to make it perfect, then it's not going to look like a primitive stocking. So I'm just going to go with this. I'm going to get my material here and I'm just going to lay this, I'm going to cut this out, lay it on this one, kind of marker around it, cut it out, kind of play around with it just to make sure it looks decent. I wanted to make sure there was enough room down here to actually put some stuff. I know that looks really kind of skinny, but I don't plan on filling these to the brim with toys or anything like that. And I want it to have that true primitive look. They're normally pretty skinny, but I made this kind of fat down here just so I could put a little bit of candy and stuff in there for the kiddos. So let me get this part done. Let me cut this out real quick. there's our primitive stocking so far. Not sure how I feel about this. I don't know if I should go. I think I'm gonna cut a little bit. It's a little too much there for me. Yeah, I think that looks a little better. Okay, yeah, because I want it to kind of look like a sock. So I think we're getting there. Now, I don't need this blue piece. I think I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna take my piece of scrap material because I want to kind of test this on some material just to see how it will look. So I'm just gonna take and trace around this and cut the material out. I think this pen will actually work. Let me see. You know what? The pencil might actually just be enough. Yeah, pencil will be just fine. May have to use something different on that. Yeah, okay, it's not working great. So I was gonna get a marker, but I couldn't find one handy. So I'm gonna go with this. It's so cute. It's so skinny right here, but I like it. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these two, what I'm gonna call the right sides. I'm gonna kind of flip this around. So we're gonna flip this over on top of that. But we're gonna just start with some glue. I'm only working with one glue gun right now. So I'm going to, let me see. Maybe I want to put it together first because I want to do something with this trim up here at the top when I get the other ones done. So I want to do this one just as if this is the actual one, so I don't have things too off. All right, let's see. All right. I think I want to start at the top because I want my stocking to have a finished look here on the top. Now, keep in mind this is just for practice right here. I'm gonna put a little piece of glue here, a little piece of glue here, a piece of glue here, and then I'm gonna fold this over. So my goal is to try to hide this rough edge. So then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do it one more time just to make it look nice and clean. So I don't want to waste all my glue to like totally glue this down, but just trying to see. I think I want this to be a little bit thicker, but I think they're so cute. So I think what I'll do is when I'm tracing out on the material that I'm going to use, I'm going to make this, well, let's see. I'm going to come out just a little bit more here and a little bit more back here, just to make sure this isn't too skinny because it looks kind of awkward right now. But other than that, I think I'm going to like it. I was going to go all the way down and glue it, but I don't want to waste all of that glue. I just wanted to kind of get an idea if I was to hang it up somewhere, how cute it would be. And I think they're perfect little primitive looking stockings, except for I need to go a little bit wider here and a little bit wider here. So now I'm going to get my pattern and I'm going to come down here on the floor and start tracing out my pattern. Ooh, why am I so nervous? I don't know, but let's get busy. I think what I'm going to do is instead of trying to trace the little pattern out, I actually went and made another blue one, by the way, and it looks pretty much the same. I just left a little more here, but I'm going to use the green one too because I really kind of like the look of a sock stocking, like a stocking that looks like a old sock. I'm going to turn this over because I think I'll be able to trace this out a little easier on the brown side. So that's what I'm going to do. Flip this over and just start over here. I'm trying to get this material. It's kind of, see how it's kind of pulled up a little bit. I don't want that to be all too off and messed up, but get over there. Probably would be good if I ironed it, but I'm not. All right, so let me find my little patterns and my pen. So I'm gonna start Okay, I think I like the blue one. I'm gonna do another one of those. I'm trying to see, like, how can I get the most. Hello, Piper. I know, I see you. I'm gonna cut these two out real quick. Where are y'all? I'm gonna get these two cut out real quick and show y'all how I'm gonna glue them. Don't worry about this. I'll be flipping this part over so you won't see that pin. But anyway, let's get these cut out and then move on to the next step. I'm worried about this. I'm kind of worried about this what that's doing. Bunching up there. All right, let's just get after it. If I spend too much time, I will overthink things, and there's really no sense. This is not that serious. My grandbabies are going to love it no matter what it looks like. I am the one that has a tendency to overthink things and make things more perfect, or not perfect. Try to make them more perfect than they actually need to be. It's just something I'm working on. Okay. Get these cut out, and then I'll meet back up with y'all in just a minute. Oh my goodness, y'all, these are gonna be so cute. Okay, so I've got them all cut out. I have the other two up there, but now that I've got them cut out, this is just what they look like cut out. So now what I'm gonna go do is, let me get up first. So now I'm just going to start gluing. So put a bead of hot glue along the edge here. And where you have little spaces, be sure and get some glue in there, otherwise you might have problems later. All right, take this, excuse me, do the same thing. Just fold it over neatly, just so it kind of looks like it has a, you know, like if you were sewing something, it would have a nice straight edge like that. Okay, so I'm gonna finish, where was I? I think I was on this side. Listen, learn from, I don't know, can y'all even see me? Learn from me. Okay, so I did not take into account which way they would go when I was cutting them out. And I think it's because I was just kind of placing the pattern all over that material. And it wasn't until I started turning a few of them inside out that I was like, uh-oh, I have some this way and some this way. But it's okay. They're going to look cute on the peg rail regardless. I got all 5. They are not perfect, but I think they are super cute. So now I'm going to make some, I have some of the material left over, and I'm going to make some little hooks to hot glue in there. And then I'm going to show you where I put them. I think I'm going to add a little ornament that I got at the thrift store also for each one, just so they can distinguish whose is whose, because I don't really have initials or anything, and I'm not going into all that with these. This one's giving me trouble. I don't know if I need to iron it. I feel like the back, I had more back than I had front. But as you can see, when you turn them inside out, that does kind of give them a little bit of a finished look here. Again, they're not perfect. They would probably be much better if they were sewn, but we're just going to roll with it. So let me cut out some little strips, hot glue some little hang tags in there, and then I'll show you how I styled all of these. So I have this shelf here in my guest room, or the kids' room, And so what I did is to kind of help with that 3 going one way and 2 going the other, is I just hung the girls' stocking with the red ribbons, and their stockings go this way. So that's kind of how I separated those and made it look not so awkward. I hope y'all can see kind of how I hung them up under there. I just put some command hooks. That's all I did. And I know it's hard to tell because I have the bright light going, but I do have these little lights that I got at Hobby Lobby with the little Christmas trees in them. And here is where I put the boys. Since they all go the other way, I put them on this little peg rail here in my hall. And theirs all has a bell. So the girls have the red ribbon and the boys have the bells. And the only thing is they kind of overlap each other, which is okay because those are the ones with the pointiest toes. So I think they look very cute though here on this little peg rail. It's underneath that shelf I did a thrift flip on the other day, and they think it is the most fun thing that they have stockings at my house. So I can't wait to put some goodies in there. I did stuff a few little trash bags in there just to kind of fill them up a little bit. I just couldn't get them. You can see this one how pointy the toe is. But yeah, overall I think they turned out cute. Would I do it different next time? Yes. I would do my pattern a little bit different. I would make things wider, but they are imperfectly perfect for the babies. And so here it is from top to bottom. There's the shelf that I made. And some of y'all told me to put some little ribbon on my chicken there, and that's such a good idea, but I ran out of ribbon and I really don't want to go buy it anymore. So maybe next year I'll do that. So thank y'all for that. Here's the stockings on the peg rail with a few other things on there also, just to kind of dress it up. Okay, y'all. So what do you think? Y'all, I'm telling you, okay, so they're cute styled and the kids don't really care. But y'all, I encourage you, if you're not good at drawing or looking at pictures and trying to figure it out yourself, try to get you a pattern. Y'all, these poor things, they got the pointiest toes. And my whole family is like laughing, lovingly laughing. They're like, they look like elf stockings. And they kind of do. Like, it just reminds me of something an elf would wear. But y'all, I tried and my babies do not care if those stockings got pointy toes or not. They're gonna have some treats in them and they're gonna love them anyway. So my tip for you is do it anyway. Even if you don't know what you're doing, even if you're scared it's not gonna turn out, it's gonna look funny. I mean, I got thousands of people probably laughing at my stockings right now, but you know what? Those babies are gonna love them regardless. So I encourage you to find you something at the thrift store or secondhand garage sale or something that you can turn into and make it your own and gift it to your family, and they are not going to care what it looks like. They are going to love it because you put a lot of heart and soul into it. Anyway, y'all, I hope that y'all have a wonderful evening. We love y'all, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with a brand new video.